as we just said, my name's Jeal. I work for Chipembele Wildlife Education Trust, and today I'm actually going to talk to you a bit about a program we have trying to create the next generation of conservation leaders from where we work. So I'm the Conservation Operations Manager, and I've been with Chipembele since 2018. Okay, a little bit about my background. I've worked in many different places, almost 20 years coming up in the conservation industry. I've worked as a ranger, I've done anti-poaching management and training. I've been a student many, many times. Always go back and study, that's a good little lesson. And now I work in community-based education. I kind of learned pretty early on that we can't just ignore the community in how conservation models are run. We've done that for far too long, where we put up big fences and we fine people for doing something wrong. Fortress conservation. It doesn't work in a modern context, and it doesn't work in an African context as well. So I'm based in Mfui, as I said, but I've worked in Zimbabwe, South Africa, the US, and Australia. So Chipembele was established in 1998, and it was established to engage the community around conservation education in the Lupande GMA. It was founded by Stephen Anatolan, ex-police officers. They came to the area and found that a lot of the community had never stepped foot in the park and didn't know about what a wonderful place it was. Over that time, we've expanded significantly to actually going out into the schools, engaging people with a focus on creating that next generation of conservation leaders. Some of them may be even here today. So this map just shows Lupande GMA, where we have quite a number of communities living there. Okay. So just going to talk about the youth-focused programs, not our adult-focused programs. So what we aim to do is to incorporate environmental learning into the curriculum. We want to instill ecological values, okay, and develop future conservation leaders from within the communities. Because communities are heavily reliant on their natural resources for survival. And so they need to be able to make informed decisions, they need to understand what impacts their actions may have. Is this off? Okay, we do that by developing critical thinking and problem-solving skills, growing emotional connections to wildlife, because only if we love something will we want to protect it, and by building knowledge and skills in the field of conservation, but also reducing the barriers to success. Probably, I don't know where people are from here, but anyone from a rural area probably understands that there are significantly more barriers to achieving similar goals than someone who's been from a more urban area. Okay, within primary schools we run conservation clubs. These are clubs in the afternoons after school where we deliver conservation lessons. We've just had this new magazine, which we have a copy on our stand. We run field trips into the park because a way too large a majority of the community have never stepped foot in the park. And they live adjacent to it, and they suffer the negative influences, but get few of the benefits. We also award students with great conservation potential who are change makers in the community. And we run a conservation center where students get to journey out, spend a full day. I don't know if anyone's been to the new Lusaka National Park Discovery Center, something similar to that. Secondary school, the clubs continue at a higher level. We run student-led campaigns. So these are campaigns where the students run them based on an issue they feel is important within their community. So it's community to community. It's not an NGO saying, hey, we need to do this, hey, we need to do that. It's like, what is an issue we want to deal with in our community, and how do we deal with it? Okay, we run nature experiences. That's me driving around with some giraffes. We do camping experiences, and we also, again, continually awarding excellence, and we run sponsorships because many people can't afford boarding school, and until recently couldn't afford the school fees, so we did sponsor that as well. And then at tertiary level, we recently have started up an internship program, which we will be accepting applications for next year's program. Unfortunately, it's only one place. We're a small organization. We do sponsorship and support at a tertiary level. Some of you may know Samson here, but he's one of the many students we've sponsored through over the years. And we run the Aspiring Conservation Leaders Program. And that's what I'm going to talk to you most about today. Okay. So we actually have some of our aspiring conservation leaders here today. So if you guys want to stand up and wave to people. Okay. This program came about because we were running our sponsorships, we were running the conservation clubs. And what we found is sometimes the leap from a rural high school to university level is a massive jump. And I'm sure many of you experience that. It's a really, really big jump. And then again, you're about to face another big jump. It's going from a student to a professional. So we designed an intensive year-long program to try and address a lot of the shortfalls in the schooling system and also give them professional skills which would take years to develop. Okay? Yep. Oh no, here we go. Okay, so this photo was taken yesterday. So we focus around 3 pillars. One being professional development. There we look at things like presenting in public, communication, conflict management, project management. Conservation leadership, where we want, how do we create the best conservation professionals? Integrity, ethics, governance. And then we look at life after ACL. What are those next steps? So we work on CV development, interview practices, how to apply for a job, how to even read, you get those cover letters. How do you design your cover letter to actually address the job? Because I can tell you, I've looked at a lot of CVs. Don't make the same mistake. Do not send a generic CV, do not send a generic cover letter. It's really, really obvious. Don't send the same letter to multiple organizations, yeah? Your application must match what they're asking for. So that's one of the big focuses. Okay. And we give them real-world experiences. Because I'm sure a lot of you can attest to, you may be about to walk away with a really, really nice, expensive piece of paper, but how many of you have actually been working in the careers? And that can sometimes be a big challenge. You've got a really nice degree, you've learned a lot at university, but your practical skills are limited. And where do you actually know where you want to be in conservation? How many of us I want to be an ecologist, or, I want to be maybe a climate change guy. But have you done it? Do you know that's where your passion is? Because if you're not passionate about what you're doing, you're not going to do it effectively. Okay, so we run even a boot camp. Their first week, we're out in the bush. I really enjoy this because I've come from ranger training background, so it's really, really nice. I work them hard, yeah? They get absolutely exhausted. Then we start giving them puzzles. They've got to do physical challenges, mental challenges, teamwork challenges. Because working is hard. And you need resilience in your life to be able to be effective. You can't be burnt out. We're here in Lusaka. We've come all the way from Mfui. That's not cheap to do. And we've just visited a whole bunch of organizations that you are seeing out there. We've visited a whole bunch of them this week. We've went through to UNZA. We're here today so that we can expand their understanding of what is conservation beyond an Mfui context. Because I think 1 or 2 of our students had been to Lusaka in their life. Okay. We send them out into the field. They work within our local context. Conservation South Luangwa, Zambian Carnivore Program. We've done BCP before. What else? Mulberry Mongoose, lodges. Any work experience is good work experience, yeah? And we also use this as a selection method for our sponsorship. It's an unfortunate fact that we can't sponsor every student. It's actually getting harder and harder to find sponsors. So if we're going to select someone that we're going to invest a significant amount of money in to study, we want that to be the most effective person possible. And I can very, very proudly say, from our last year program, this person here, Innocent Piri, He arrived in Rwanda a couple of days ago to start his bachelor's at the African Leadership University, which is the first time we've ever sent someone there. But it's not just an academic program as well. It's not just for university people. So in conservation, we need people at all levels, yeah? We need dedicated, passionate, effective people from the ground all the way to the top. Thank you. I'd like to now invite Chipembele to come and join us. She's currently within our ACL program, and she's just going to talk a little bit about her experiences. You can do it from there if you want.
Thank you very much, Corey. As we all know that school is very important, but school doesn't prepare us, like it doesn't teach us professional skills. It only teaches us how to pass an exam. So the Aspiring Conservation Leadership Program has instilled me with new skills and knowledge that will enable me to be more effective and innovative, like an innovative leader in the ever-growing conservation community. It has also supported me with, It has also supported me with biodiversity conservation by building new skills and knowledge in early career conservationists like myself. For I have to strive to protect major threats of nature in places where resources of wildlife are limited. The Aspiring Conservation Leaders also inspires and trains the next future generation conservation leaders with a theoretical and applied knowledge and skills in conservation discipline through instruction, field work, and research. So me being an aspiring conservation leader, I'm looking forward to work in the conservation field because I have developed new skills that will help me. I have developed new skills in collaboration, in techniques to bring together diversity stakeholders, communication skills, and innovative methods for achieving conservation goals. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So in conclusion, this is not a unique situation. This is quite an unfortunate, a common situation. And, speaking to many of the conservation practitioners out there, we need to address these barriers. We need local leadership within human diverse, wildlife diverse landscapes. We can't just be outsourcing this. So we need to address these barriers at as many levels as possible. If I can just get a show of hands, who is a leader in their life in at least one aspect? If you think you're a leader, you're in a leadership position in one aspect of your life, raise your hand. Just a few? No? Not many? A few here? You got to lead something in your life, eh? All right. How many of you, raise your hand if you've actually received formal leadership training? Couple of hands, eh? So there's a huge need to help develop leadership. So that's kind of it for the ACL programs, but I've got a few little nuggets for you up-and-comers, eh? Things to think about when you're entering the job market. Develop your brand. What does it mean? Who are you? What do you mean? Yeah? What do you represent? What do you hope to achieve? And build around that. Eh? Does your social media show you out partying? Or does it show you at something like a conference, actually caring about what you say you care about? Yeah? Because you've got to market yourself to get in. Yeah? So think what your marketing says about you. Prepare your CVs well in advance. There are thousands of brilliant examples online. And unfortunately, 99% of all the CVs we receive are really boring, uninteresting. You got 5 seconds. That's how long people look at a CV for. If yours is not interesting, it's in the bin. Because we get hundreds of applications for one job. We don't have time to look in between the lines and try and find the great people. Those with really nice CVs are the ones we're going to spend time on. Practice your interviews. The questions are really obvious. Why do you want this job? Why are you here? What do you want to achieve? When you're not prepared for simple questions like that, okay, cool, thanks for coming. Critically analyze yourself. What do you do well? Where do you need to develop yourself? Stop waiting for other people to do it for you. Do it yourself. There's so many resources with the internet now. Where are my weaknesses and how do I overcome them? And build your network. Networks are everything. It's who you know, not what you know, unfortunately. You might know everything, but if you don't know people, you're going to find it much harder. These situations are brilliant for building your network. Yeah? Talk to people. Introduce yourself. But don't just say, hey, I'm Corey. I like conservation. You're very forgettable, eh? Go, hey, I liked what you said. This really intrigued me. I'm really passionate about this. What makes you special? Because you're all special in your own way. What makes you special and what makes you memorable? Because networks, it's not something you do just when you're looking for a job. You're always building your network. Because at some point, you're going to come across someone else, and if you've already established a relationship, you can say, hey, I remember you. We met here. We're doing something really similar. Can we partner? Can we work together? Because in conservation, we cannot work in isolation. We have to come together. Okay. And are you what the industry needs? We need people who are hardworking, dedicated, people with integrity. Don't just say things and then, oh yeah, I really care about the environment, and then we're littering or, doing things that aren't great. Critical thinkers and problem solvers. Yeah? As they just spoke about, we're facing an unprecedented crisis with climate change. This is a really new set of problems, and we need new ways of dealing with them. So make yourself a good problem solver. Again, so many resources around. Make yourself a critical thinker. Hard work, dedication, integrity. These are all things that cost nothing. They're absolutely free. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars to develop these. You just need to want to. And that's me. That's my presentation. You can find out more about us at our website. Check out our social medias. If anyone wants to get in touch with me, I'm around. I'm here all day. So feel free to come and chat to me. Thank you very much for your time. I hope this was valuable.